Hey everyone, the Arena Open's coming up this weekend, and I decided to show you some of my builds from last weekend's Arena Directs Edge of Eternity seal deck, show you 4 different builds and how I did with them to give you an idea of what seal deck looks like in this format. It's going to be the same format this weekend. Edge of Eternity sealed on day 1. You get as many tries as you want. And if you make it to day 2, it is draft. And if you do well enough, you can win some cash prizes. It's a pretty cool event. Day 1 can be a little frustrating sometimes because you get a tons of tries and there's kind of FOMO, um, kind of sunk cost fallacy. So definitely, keep that in mind when you're playing and don't feel like you need to keep playing until you qualify. I've definitely had times where I'll just give it a try or two and then I'm not feeling it and not a big deal if you don't make it. But if you are a good drafter, it is true that it's probably worth it to try and make it to day 2 and compete for, I think it's up to a couple $1,000 if you get max number of wins. So cool event, seal deck, Edge of Eternity. And yeah, I decided to do a bit like one of my last videos and show you the builds. I did it a bit better this time. I recorded as I was going after having built the deck, and I clipped also kind of after I was done to show you how to run in it. So hope you enjoy it. Hope that helps, and I'll see you in a bit. The day, pretty straightforward build. I opened some really good cards in white and black. I've got Halia, I've got Sirvandem, the legend. I've got even some value lands, dual land, and that one, Susur Secondi, Void Altar. Other consideration was blue-white. I had Consult the Star Charts. I had the Infiltrator. I had the Titan as the standard cards, as well as Mouth of the Storm. Not much in the other colors. Red's pretty empty. Not a lot of removal either. Green's not that exciting either. Blue-white had the good 2-drop as well. But yeah, I think this is pretty straightforward. I only have a couple fillers, like the Beckoner is not great. The Breacher is fine. And even these cards are just passable. I guess the Comet Crawler, so not the perfect deck, but I've got some removal with the Trajectories. I've got some of the Mythic Commons. Beetle is kind of black's best common. I did not open Banishing Light, unfortunately, but I do have Radiant Strike, and I also have the card that carried me to my 7-0 run yesterday. The Felgraph Ship, that card is fairly obscene. So, yeah, 2 Lightsmiths. Hopefully we get these going. And then I think that card's probably going to win me at least a game if I play a bunch. So we'll see how many wins I can get with that one. And this is how the run ended. Bummer, I was 6-0. Played a white-black mirror last round. Flooded a bit, and I thought I had the game pretty much won. My opponent was down to 1 card in hand, 6 lands, and they just slammed the end stone. Slammed the end stone into 0-point ballad, and I could just not recover. And this is how the run ends. But still not bad. The deck played out really nicely for the most part. Graph Ship was nice. I didn't draw Halia a ton, but I drew Von Dam a lot, and yeah, I'd never played with that card. That card was really, really, really ridiculous. Second deck of the day, I got Halia again, and this time I'm going white-green. I was not super excited about the pool at first. Most of my colors were really shallow, and white-green was pretty much my only option, but I think I've got a pretty solid deck. I've got 2 Banishing Lights, Halia, and I got both Halias actually as kind of my bombs, and I just found out that the Might is good with stations and spacecraft. I just assumed that card was mediocre because Figured, oh, you have to attack with a 1/1. It's tricky, you have to pump it, but yeah, you just tap it to station and spacecrafts and pollinator, and I have even a few ways to pump it, so we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, pretty excited about that one. Looks really fun. That could be really cool to Adagia copying Banishing Light or my spacecraft. That sounds like pretty unbeatable in the late game. So yeah, at first I thought my deck was not the greatest, but looks real nice, honestly. So let's see how many wins I can get with that one. Third seal of the day, and just got 7 wins. We got 6 wins and 7 wins, and open kind of another obscene one, honestly. Just Harvester and Gunship as bombs, double beetle, tons of removal, tons of card advantage, triple plunge. Yeah, just amazing deck. The Beckoner to combo was a lot of stuff and give up some push power.
From the ghastly Eyrie,
And
I can
I've had
see
to cut
to the ends of the
Pinnacle Kill
world,
Chip for
and
the
from
first
this
time.
vantage point, I declare with utter certainty that this one is in the bag.
I've had to cut Voidborn. I've got to cut Battle Cruiser. That card is decent. Yeah, just so a really good deck. 6 wins for those of you who just got there. Got 6 wins. Pretty obscene red black deck, just everything removal. I think the Hyper Late ended up being pretty decent, right? Can't win them all. All right, so yeah, 4th deck of the day. And what do we have so far? A box and 2 6-win runs, just all good runs today, I think. Am I forgetting a quick O2? I don't think so. And yeah, Amaz, who said I was gonna play like straight white green, good curve, good cards. And Amaz said if I wanted to win, I should play the all face crawls in the 2 mechans and build around it. So we're doing that. We're playing white green base with 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 1 red card, 1 black card, command bridge, and kind of a slower playing all the value cards and the removal spells. Do I have any other lands? Only the colorless ones. I have a bridge and temple and nesting ground, but I don't want to play colorless lands. So yeah, this is what we're rolling with this time. Let's see how many wins we can get with that build. And if it fell right. Got endstoned again at 6-1. So what's the gem count now? At least we get a bunch of gems. I'm almost positive in gems. Quick math, 1200, right? Minus 1200. And plus 32 packs. Let's go. Not bad. But yeah, that deck was so good. Hashtag Amaz was right. It took some pretty Riddick stuff for me to lose. Very cool deck, very good build. That was a little glimpse at Seal Deck, and another tool that can be really useful is 17 Lands. For those who've never heard of it, it tracks data on Arena, so you get win rates for color combos, you get stats, some pretty advanced stats on each card, and I think it's a great tool in addition to just drafting and thinking about the format. Right now I have the win rates of the different 2-color combinations. For the multicolored green decks, a little trickier. For the splash, it's a little trickier, but it gives you a pretty good idea of the rankings of the different color combos. So according to 17 Lands, blue-green is the best, and white-red is the worst, as well as blue-red. But I don't think the gaps are super extreme compared to some of the other sets. It does look like green is the best color and white the worst one overall if you look at the different color combos. So, that could help you make some slight adjustments when you're not sure about an early pick, these kind of things, but I wouldn't take it too far either. So that was deck color data. Now I'm in card data, and you can take a look at individual cards. One of the best indicators is the GIH win rate. It's how a card impacts your win rate when you draw it. And you can see at the very top of the list is actually Modern All Star Quantum Riddler. Then you have Acolyte, that's a 4/4 lifelink, Orboid, all the bombs, mostly what you would expect. And I would keep in mind that you should adjust for rarity and how high a card is picked. I believe, a card like Riddler should actually be like a few percent higher, and commons that you're going to get late in the pack should maybe have a few percents removed. Um, Basically, I'm going to try and explain that. If you pick a card really high, it means you use your first pick on it, um, meaning you're going to have less of a chance of picking other cards high. But if you get a common, pick 12 or whatever, you didn't have to use a high pick on it, meaning you got to use your higher picks on other cards. Um, so keep that in mind. But this could be a good indicator, especially nice for rares that you don't see very often, cards that have a bit of a weird effect or a bit of a unique effect. So yeah, typically maybe a card like Extinguisher Battleship, that's the eight mana spacecraft, and it's always all tricky to rate really really expensive cards, really powerful but expensive cards. So that could give you a good idea. Um, or what else? Good example. A card like Cathedral of War. Weird land comes into play, taps for colorless, and gives your creature exalted. Not a card that you would play in every deck, but it looks like it does pretty well. I would have been surprised if it had like a below 50% win rate. Um, Actually, I was surprised to see it that high, but that kind of card. And then you need to be a little careful with pump spells. The green pump spells always have really high win rate, but I think that's one of the reasons you get them really late, and you don't always play them. Like if you're playing a pretty controlish deck, you might not play them. It's kind of cards that are situational. So yeah, that's just 17 lands. Great tool. You can even have it open while you're drafting if you're not sure. Even though you should also just keep in mind, staying open. I like staying open early in the picks, making sure you draft a high curve. Don't just blindly pick the card with the highest win rate and end up with like no 2 drops and 10 4 drops or something silly like that. But it can be a really really useful tool to complement your drafting. So yeah, hope this was helpful. Good luck if you're playing the Arena Open this weekend, and I'll be streaming the Content Creator Modern Challenge, actually playing for some cash prize on Saturday, and I'll be competing in the Arena Open at the same time. So good luck. Good luck in whatever you're playing this weekend, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.